radio play-by-play voice of the Green Bay Packers and the Packers Radio Network. Wonderful to have you here. We're looking forward to a big weekend. We wish the game was here. We wish it was in front of you folks. But I got to tell you something, and I know a lot of you were at the game the other day. Your presence, Lambeau, Get Loud Lambeau, was in full effect, in full throw in that second half. And when Aaron Rodgers started hitting those 10 straight passes, those 2 touchdowns with the lead, you guys are right there. Outstanding. Never heard Lambeau louder than for that game. And that's credit to you guys. Wonderful crowd here in Green Bay. Well, we've got a big weekend. I know you're all looking forward to it, and so are we. Heading out to Seattle tomorrow, the football team. We leave Green Bay late in the afternoon tomorrow. Get out there on Friday night. Practice on Saturday, and then the big game is noon local time out there. I believe 2 o'clock or a little after 2 o'clock right here in the Midwest. So the Packers and the Seahawks, we're stoked about it. Are you? I know who else is stoked about it as well. Please welcome the President and CEO of the Green Bay Packers, Mark Murphy.
Thank you, Wayne. I am stoked. This is exciting. I want to, Wayne mentioned it, but I want to thank all of our fans. You guys have been great all year, and to come out, this is really impressive how many of you showed up tonight. And I tell you, all year long, Lambeau Field is just, we've had such a great home field advantage, and we rode it all the way to 8-0 in the regular season and a great win over the Cowboys. Wayne, I heard you say that it would be great to have the game be playing the Seahawks here. Well, it would be really nice. It's going to be really nice to beat them in Seattle.
You know, when you think of all that's going on and what's on the line, not the least of which is that little Fail Mary situation from a few years ago. Wouldn't that be poetic justice? Yeah. Go up there and win there.
Win there and maybe on a Hail Mary. Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be really good. Hey, Mark, you know, the stadium, you were mentioning, and I mentioned this, the loudness. And, you know, I don't know if you really appreciate it when you're there. You guys are just tremendous. But when you went back and watched it on TV and how the crowd poured out of that picture, it was amazing. It really was. It is. I'm not kidding. The last 2 games, Detroit, the NFC North Division title game, and Sunday, the divisional playoff game, that's the loudest I've ever heard this stadium.
I agree. It's been great. You know, and going back, when we added the south end zone, we designed it specifically to keep the noise in, and it's really made a difference. And I think you're right. The Get Loud Lambeau campaign, we kicked it off for the Lions game. Obviously, had a great win there, and carried it through in the playoff games against the Cowboys. It was measurably, really noticeably much louder, and the fans were really into the game. It was great to see.
Mark, you know, when you talk about that ball game against Dallas, give me your impressions of it. You sit in the booth right next to us, rather stoic over there. You got Ted Thompson to your left. And, you know, what was the emotion going through? What's it like in there with the executives and with, you know?
Well, we call it the sweat box. It gets a little, you know, I love it. It's Ted Thompson and Russ Ball and myself. And, you know, just it's a good chance to talk through and talk about the team and the game. But it gets pretty nervous there sometimes. It gets pretty tense. And I have to say, when we challenged the call on the Dez Bryant non-catch, we all thought, you know, this is a rule that, you know, this shouldn't be a catch. But when they finally made the right call, that was a great feeling. Yeah, it was such an evenly matched game. The teams went back and forth. Thought it was a really well played game, and you know, just to be able to come out on top in a game like that was a real tribute to this team and the way we played all year.
You know, Mark, the drama of the day was amazing when you think about it. The game was dripping with drama. Here's this quarterback playing on one leg. He's been off the whole game, and then all of a sudden he catches a rhythm. They spread the field, he catches a rhythm. I thought that was significant. Now, you're an old defensive back. When they take Randall Cobb and they put him in the offensive backfield, then they move him in motion. Now all of a sudden you got 5 wides out here. What do you do as a defender?
Well, even if Des Bryant had caught that and they scored a touchdown, there's no doubt in my mind we would have won. You know, I think
the next morning I got up, I read the paper, Bob McGinn wrote that very thing. Said, don't kid yourself. Had they allowed that catch, had Dallas scored, Green Bay, the way they were moving the football on that team, they would have gone down to score, you know. So there's no doubt in my mind the Packers win that game. All right, the Seattle game coming up. From your perch, what do you think? How do you look at this game?
Well, it's going to be a great challenge, but you know, I really feel good about it, and most importantly, and you're going to hear, we got a couple of our current players that are going to be here, and you'll be able to hear from them. And I think our team is really confident. You know, they want this game, and you know, we've had a couple tough losses there in recent years. I think particularly this year, but I think you know the fact that we played there this year. It's going to help us. You know, we know what we're getting into, and we're a different team. We're playing with a lot more confidence, and I think we're going to play very, very well. Now, you know, they're an outstanding team. Obviously, you know, defending Super Bowl champs, #1 seed, and you know, particularly their defense is very impressive. But I think our offense is really excited about showing what they can do against this their defense.
More point. You know, it's interesting as I've watched these playoffs. Dallas opens up with a wild card against Detroit. The Cowboys are playing really tight in that ball game. You can tell the pressure of the world's on them. Their first playoff appearance since 2009. You know, Tony Romo, all this past, all these playoff performances that didn't go so well, and they finally got the job done. And when they came to Green Bay, I thought they played a lot better against the Packers than they did the week before. They were relaxed. They were playing with house money, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're right. Kind of had the monkey off their back. Got a big win against the Lions. And, yeah, they played very well against us. You know, we took an early lead, and, you know, then they really controlled play for a good portion of the game.
Conversely, the Green Bay Packers, a lot went into that ball game. A lot of pressure on that football team because we've had some postseason disappointments in this very stadium in recent years. Everybody's talking about that. You know, the Packers wanted all this other stuff. And I thought that, you know, that was really the challenge this team had to face. And I thought they felt that pressure during the ball game. Now we go to Seattle. My point is, after beating Dallas, a lot of house money. We're taking house money with us up there.
No, you're right. And on the flip side, all the pressure's on the Seahawks.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, in the NFL, it's an old saying, it's really hard to beat a good team twice. And we're a very good team. They beat us fair and square that first game. This is going to be a different game.
No question.
It's going to be very, very difficult, I think, for them to beat us again.
Mark, listen, wish you all the best on the trip out there, leaving a day early, getting everybody acclimated and all, and that should work out pretty well for you.
It should be a great game. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks with the Lombardi Trophy.
Mark Murphy, the president and CEO of the Green Bay Packers. Now, you guys don't have to stay for 2 weeks, but you're welcome to. I mean, you know, we'd love to have you, but in 2 weeks we'll be back here doing some bigger ceremony, probably in that stadium, we're hoping anyway. Yeah. How many of you click on the computer to go to Packers.com? Don't you, to get all your information every day? Every day. Click on to Packers.com. We've got the two lead reporters. Our editor-in-chief of Packers.com, Mr. Vic Ketchman, and our lead writer, Mike Spofford. Thank you. All right, fellas, playoffs. First off, Vic, your impression of the Dallas game. What did you think?
Team of destiny. That's the way I'm looking at the Packers right now. In the first half, we're watching Aaron Rodgers limp around, and we're all getting a bad feeling. And then all of a sudden, somebody flipped the switch, and he's Aaron Rodgers again. It's almost as though he has a magic wand, Mike. It's almost as though the Packers are a team of destiny. We sit next to each other in the press box, and we're watching him play in the first half, and we're not getting a good feeling, and then all of a sudden, they can't be stopped with that touchdown to Davante Adams at the end of the third quarter. where did this come from? A 90-yard drive. And then the next time they have the ball, an 80-yard drive. They hadn't gone 8 yards for most of the first half. So I keep getting this feeling over and over that this is a team of destiny. And if you go back to when we were in Seattle in week 1, didn't you leave there with the idea you were coming back? Well, we're coming back.
Yeah, seems like the whole season, we talked before about how the regular season was all leading up to week 17 against Detroit. Then it finally arrived. We've kind of felt like since week 1 that the playoffs were going to be about the Packers against the Seahawks, and here we are.
You know what's amazing about where this game is going to be played? And this tells you what you folks already know. Every game, I don't care if it's in September, October, November, every game on your schedule in the National Football League is important. This game would be played here on Sunday, Lambeau Field, had it not gone so bad in Buffalo on the 15th week of the regular season on a cold, dark November afternoon. When the offense just had a bad day, then just one of those days of the office.
Well, I remember what I said to you, Mike, in the bus, when we got on the bus in Buffalo after the game. I said, well, Mike, we're going to Seattle.
Yeah.
And we're going to Seattle. I think we all knew this. Is there anybody that didn't think that it would come down to this? And I got to tell you, as much as I would love to see this game played in Lambeau Field, there's something about going out there on their field and taking their trophy.
And wouldn't that be poetic justice?
Sure.
Or fatal merit?
You know, I mean, I've been down this road before. I've seen this. And I thought to myself, I started counting up. I've covered 43 seasons. And I counted up the number of conference title games I've covered. 10. Only 10 in 43 years. And I covered a team in the 70s that it was on the schedule. Every year they were in it. Hey, don't take this for granted. You don't come down this road very often. There aren't a whole lot of conference title games in your lifetime. This is one of them. Enjoy it.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what the Packers have to do to win. Mike, give me your general impression. What do the Packers have to do to win this ball game this weekend?
Well, when I look at the Packers defense, first of all, it's you have to contain Marshawn Lynch and you have to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket. When I look at that quarterback, we all saw what Lynch did in week 1. The Packers did not tackle well. They've admitted that. They've gotten much better at that as the season has gone along. You look at Wilson as a quarterback, this is a guy who gets out of the pocket and makes plays on the move, even when he doesn't have to. I mean, he gets out of the pocket to give his receivers more time to get open, even when he's not necessarily being pressured. So the Packers really have their work cut out for him to devote enough people to slowing down Lynch, but also keeping Wilson in the pocket, making him throw the ball from the pocket.
Well, if you want to know what the Packers have to do to win on Sunday, go back to the game in 2012 because they won it. And do you remember how they won it?